Good morning, students. Today we will start a new poem, A Tiger in the Zoo. This poem is written by Leslie Norris. Leslie Norris is one of a famous poet. So you just need to remember the writer's name, the poet name, because in many times in board exams the name of the poet is asked. So you just remember this name, Leslie Norris. So here in this poem, what happens? The poet is contrasting the behavior of tiger when the tiger is in two different situations. What are the two situations? The first situation is in the zoo when the tiger is enclosed within the cage. And the next situation is when the tiger lives in its natural habitat. What is its natural habitat? Where do we find a tiger naturally? Definitely in forest or jungle. Okay. So how the same tiger behave in two different situations? That is when it is inside the zoo and when it is in its natural habitat, that is jungle or forest. Okay. So basically the theme of this poem is that we should not keep the tiger in the zoo because the tiger becomes irritating and it develops anger within itself. It's quite common. We all like freedom, isn't it? Just we could easily relate this to our present situation. Now, as you all know that due to the tense situation of corona, we all are inside our houses. Our movement is restricted. We are not supposed to go out of our house. So you all can feel how it feels when we are just bounded within certain limits. We are asked to live within the houses of our houses. So similarly, the tiger faces the same situation when it is put behind the bars in the zoo and people come to see them for their entertainment. The same situation, the tiger feels very awkward, very irritated, even though it's one of the most powerful animal, it's one of the most powerful living being, but when it is put behind the bar, what is its situation? This is what the poet has tried to say. Okay, so now we will go line by line and try to understand this poem. So the first paragraph says, he stalks in his vivid strips the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. He stalks. Here, he, who is this he? He is the tiger. As we all know, for tiger, we represent it. But here the poet has personified it, the tiger. The poet has treated the tiger as a human being. So here only we are getting our first literary device, that is personification. Personification. Tiger is treated as a human being by the poet. Okay. So he stalks. What is stalk? Stalk means to walk in an angry or proud way. So tiger is walking in the cage. He is quite angry. What is vivid? Vivid means very bright strips. Strips means the lining which is on the body of the tiger. Okay, I have given you all the tough word meanings in a separate page. You can just go through it while considering the word meanings. Okay, vivid means very bright. Very bright black or yellow linings are on the body of the tiger. So the tiger with its lining on the body is moving in the cage on pads of velvet quiet. Pads of velvet quiet means the leg of the tiger is just like a velvet. It is soft. As you all have seen in Discovery Channel, the paws, the legs of tiger is very soft. It is just like a velvet. Velvet is a soft material cloth. Okay, you all know this. The tiger is moving in the cage on its pad of quiet in his quiet race. Means here this quiet means silent. He is moving in the cage silently in his quiet race. Quiet race means quiet again, silent race means anger. Even though the tiger is quiet, but still there is anger inside it. Why the tiger is angry? Because it has been put behind the bars. People are coming to see it for their entertainment. So the tiger is moving angrily in his bar. Okay. So the word meanings I have already given you. So you need to refer that page. He should be lurking in shadow. In the second paragraph, the poet is saying what should be actually his behavior. In the first paragraph, the tiger is in the zoo. But how it should be how it should behave when it is in its natural habitat, that is forest. Okay. So he should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. Okay. So the tiger should be lurking means moving. Okay. Moving in shadow of trees of the jungles. And it should sliding through long grass. Sliding means moving slowly before attacking on its prey. The tiger slowly moves behind the long grasses of the jungles. And where do these activities are found? You all must have seen in Discovery Channel or National Geography Channel that how the tigers attack. Basically, their favorite prey is plump deer. Plump means fat deer. So when the deer comes to drink water near a water body, water hole here means water body. Okay. Comes near a water body to drink water, this plump deer, the tiger, what is its natural habit? It will attack it for its food, not for its entertainment, because it's the naturally its habit of preying, because this is naturally provided to him, to this tiger, so that they can exist in this world. This is also because as you all know, these are the process which is naturally within the tiger for maintaining the ecological balance. So they hunt deer not for their entertainment but for their food. Okay, for their food. In the third paragraph, again the poet is saying he should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. Okay. So again in the third paragraph, the poet is saying what should be the behavior of the tiger when it is natural in its natural habitat. He should be snarling. Snarling means making aggressive noise, just like tiger makes loud noise. Okay. And when sometimes the tiger goes for hunt, it may come towards the edge of the villages. After roaming in the jungle, it sometimes come towards the villages, not for its entertainment but in search of food. When it is in its natural habitat, it has so much power that even just when it make snarls, people just after hearing the noise of the tiger gets terrified. Okay. when it shows its bearing, bearing means not covered, uncovered. Okay, white fang means teeth. When the tiger shows its teeth, it terrorizes the village. Claws. This is the power of the tiger when it is naturally roaming in the forest. But whenever it is put behind the bars, we all go there to have entertainment, to have a look on this tiger. But when it is freely roaming, none of us has even a slight potential to face the tiger. Every human beings terrorize because of this tiger. Okay, gets terrified. Okay, now moving to the next paragraph. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. But what happens? But actually, the reality is this poor tiger is put behind the bars in the zoo. Okay, it's put behind the bars. He is locked in a concrete cell. Concrete means strong, cemented wall. Within the cemented or the iron rods cell in the cage. And his complete strength is behind that bar because it has been put inside the cage. So all the strength, all its power are within that cage. And that tiger is stalking the length of his cage. Stalking means he is again moving. In the first paragraph we have learned this word stalk. Stalk means to move angrily. Okay. So this tiger, when it is put again it is put inside the cage, it is moving angrily inside the cage. And all the visitors, we all go to zoo to have visit of these animals. So whenever the people visit the animals in the zoo, hardly they pay interest towards us, they ignore us. So the tiger is also doing the same thing. It is angrily moving inside the cage, not even paying a slightest attention towards its visitors. It is ignoring the visitors. Is it clear? Now we will move in the last paragraph of this poem. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So this is the situation during the night in the zoo. During night in zoo. So the poet is saying how the tiger behaves during the night. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling car. What is the last voice at night? The voice of the patrolling cars. The patrolling cars, who does the patrolling in the forest? The security guards. They go for patrolling, for checking whether everything is going fine inside the zoo. Even if they just to check whether all the cages are properly locked or not, if any human being is left behind or not. They just for checking the tiger's safety and all other animal safety. The security of the jungle, the forest, they go for patrolling. Okay, so the tiger hears the sound, the noise of this patrolling cars, and it looks and it stares. Stares means it looks with his brilliant eyes. How is the eyes of this tiger? It is shining, bright, brilliant eyes. And where this tiger is looking? It is looking at the brilliant star towards the sky. Okay, with his shining eyes, the tiger is looking towards the sky. Okay, so with this the poem ends. So the theme is, we must not put tiger in the zoo for our fun. We must let it to be in its natural habitat, that is forest, jungle, because they are also a living being. They also needs freedom, and they are there to maintain the ecological balance. So we must respect their freedom also. Thank you. Now we will just try to understand the rhyming scheme of this poem. So as you all can see, there are actually 5 paragraphs. Each paragraph consists of 4 lines. So the last word is stripes. In the second line, the last word is cage, then quiet, then rage. So what are the words which are rhyming similar to each other in sound? Cage and rage. So the first word is stripe. It is not neither matching with any of the last words. So we will name it as A. Cage is B. As B, cage is rhyming with rage. So we will name it as B. And quiet is neither rhyming with stripes, cage, quiet or rage. So it is C. Okay. A, B, C, B. So the rhyming scheme is A, B, C, B. So you can find the same thing in all the paragraphs. Now we will check the second also. Here we can find shadow. We will name it as A, grass, B, hole, C, because neither of them are matching. Pass. So pass is matching with grass, rhyming words. These two are grass, pass. So we will name it as B. So once again A, B, C, B. So you can, it's your job, it's your work to find the rhyming scheme in all these 3 paragraphs, which you will let me know once you will go through the poem. So I have just let you know about the rhyming scheme in the first 2 paragraphs. It is quite similar in the last 3 also. So you just need to bring out what are the literary devices used. As we all have discussed, the first literary device is personification, he, because for animals we use it, but here the poet has used he for tiger. It means the tiger is treated as a human being, as a person, so tiger has been personified. So the literary device is personification. The next literary device is on pads of velvet, quiet, on pads of velvet. Okay, this is which literary device has been used? Metaphor.